So, hello everyone. Good afternoon to all. Just confirm me once in the chat box. My voice is audible. Okay, sir. Thank you for your response in the chat box. So, today we all are here to discuss something very special. And believe me, today we'll discuss in a very special way, in a very specific way. Okay. Before moving ahead, I just wish to thank you all that you all have joined this session on this Sunday afternoon. Okay, because Sunday is much crucial for all of us, and to spare the time for our learning on Sunday is really a very special for me, and you all are here for this very special session on the practical discussions from GST perspective on today. Definitely the time which you are spending with me on this very special topic, it will be very helpful for you in your day-to-day GST practice. Okay, so this session is going to be live on YouTube, as well as the same is available on the Zoom platform. Okay, so you may share the link with your other professional friends, with your other professional groups. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. No leave from GST. Definitely no leave from GST. But yes, we should spare some time for our family members, for our enjoyment. Okay, that is also required. And Sunday is for that only. So today we'll take a very light discussion from the perspective of GST. We'll discuss with you certain very special things which we need to keep in our mind from the GST perspective. We'll discuss certain essential things which should be required in our GST practice. We'll also discuss how we can grow in our GST practice. We'll also discuss how we can solve the practical problems, practical queries of our client in a different way. Okay. So, yes, sir. Ganeshan, sir, we all are here for the learning only, and we all are going to learn a lot of things through this session, through this journey also. Okay. So, sir, Sunday, practical discussion on GST. I will not take your much more time. We'll conclude my session in 1.5 hours or 2 hours. Okay, we'll try to conclude the session in next 2 hours and 1.5 hours. But I'm just going to give you something very special through this particular session. Sir, try to understand. First, I am going to share with you the importance of this specific session so that you all can be there. Okay. And I also request each one of you, sir, please be there till the last moment of this session. Okay, because we have conducted this session especially for the GST practitioners, for the GST professionals. Okay, now upcoming time is related to GSTR 9 and 9C. Upcoming time is related to the GST compliances. Upcoming time is related to the GST litigations. Upcoming time is related to the GST consultancy. So we all should ready by today itself for the future issues which we need to face. Okay, there is no alternate option. So we must face the issues which will be there in GST in very near future, and this session is going to be help you out in a very well way. Through this session, I am just going to give you a path, a way that how we can boost our practices, how we can make our knowledge on a next level. Okay, that is what is the purpose of this special session. Sir, first I am just no need to record at your end. We'll provide you the recordings. Okay, although I request each one of you, sir, try to join the live session because you all are here in live. So please join it in a live way, because this is a discussion based session. This is not a session where I am going to give you the idea about the provisions, about the sections. I am going to give you the solution of your practical problems. So you can say this is the solution oriented session, not merely based on the learning. Okay, this is a solution from the practical experience, from the practical exposure. So this session is going to be a next level different session, you can say. And yes, in the history of India, these type of sessions is going to be first time where we are only going to discuss the problems of GST, the issues which is there in GST, the practical Q&A which is there in GST based on law. Okay, now sir, first I am going to share with you the rules of this particular session. Sir, I just request each one of you, please be in active mode. If you have any query, any concern, you can put it in the chat box. I will take your queries. Okay, when I am going to ask any query, this is your responsibility to provide the response. If it is possible, keep notebook with you so that you can make note of some important points if you found. Okay, the mode of communication of this session will be in English language. Maybe certain examples is in Hindi, but We'll convert the same into English for your comfort zone. Okay. So yes, what type of discussion we are going on today? Okay. So the discussion which will take through this particular session is about the practical queries under GST. The point is that, sir, I have idea of law. I have idea of each and every section of GST. I have idea about the format, about the filing of various returns. I have idea about filing of GSTR 9 and 9C. I have idea about the draftings. Okay. I have idea about how to present in front of departmental authority. Everything I have. But the concern is that when a client is coming in my office and asking any practical question, at that time it will be quite difficult for me to provide the response. When I am presenting in front of departmental authority or at the time of hearing, if departmental authority is going to file any cross argument, I will not be able to put my view on that. Whenever there will be a discussion amongst the professionals, and if a special point is going on related to a specific section, I have the idea of the section, but I have no idea about the practical implication, practical doubt and queries of the session. So first thing which I want to ask with you, all these, sir, I will share the PPT. All these questions are also there in your mind. You all are facing these issues, because if you are facing these issues, then only this session is going to be helpful for you. Because I have faced these type of issues when my client is coming to my office and asking for any practical problem. No idea. Because our client has no relation, no correlation with our client has no correlation with our knowledge, with section, with provision. Our client requires only the solution. Client आएगा, मुझे ये दिक्कत है, क्या आप इसका solution provide करवा सकते हो क्या? In a simplified way, if we are able to provide, in that case, client will be there. Otherwise, the competition is in very huge way. Some other person, change your client. Are you agree with me, sir? Put it in the chat box, yaar. We all are here for the discussion. So I request each one of you, you may put it in the chat box that yes, you all are agree with my concern that these are the issues which we are facing. If you will put yes, then yes, definitely it will give confidence to me that yes, we are on a right path, we are on a right way. And I have solution for you. On YouTube also, you may comment in the chat box. Okay. So today, in this particular session, what we'll do, we have topic wise certain question and answers. Okay. Sir, if you are not getting the audio, then I think it is some issue at your end. Please check it. Okay. So the point is that through this particular session, what I am going to do, yes, for the client, the solution is important. Exactly, Manshudi. For client, the solution is important. And many times what will happen, a lot of provisions are there, a lot of sections are there. We have idea about the section, but we are not able to provide the exact solution to our client in 1 or 2 lines. Our client not require the deliberation of CS Sachin Jain. Our client require the solution. Koi bhi hoga CS Sachin Jain, we don't care. We just require the solution, sir. Although when my client is coming to my office and client is saying that Sachin is taking the classes for others, Sachin is taking the seminars, the sessions. But at the end, client is saying that Mr. Sachin, this is my problem. Can you please provide me the solution? Okay. So we also need to be we also need to follow a solution-oriented approach. Okay. On the basis of that, we have developed multiple questions based on topics. Okay. Time of supply, value of supply, place of supply, audit and assessment, scrutiny, the registrations, the reverse charge mechanism, the import and export. So multiple topics we have taken, and based on that, multiple queries we have developed that can be asked by our client. Okay, that file we have prepared. Okay, and we have covered all the queries in a funny way so that each one can get understanding of the same. Okay, if you will check the Bare Act, it is very bulky. Okay, multiple books are available in the market, 1000 pages, 2000 pages. It is also very difficult to read the book because money nahi hota yaar. How I can read that book? How I can provide the solution to my client? Okay, so we just need to learn to provide the consultancy to our client. Okay, that type of learning is required because we don't have to pass any examination. We just need to provide the consultancy to our client. We just need to provide the solution to our client. That is what is the importance. Okay, for initial 5 to Sir, Nirav sir, if you will provide the solution, you will definitely get the fees. This is my guarantee to you because I have followed the mechanism. Just we need to do something additional for our client. That also will share. The point is that, Niraji, the biggest problem is that we have idea about law. We are making very hard efforts. We are giving a very huge amount of time for our client, but we have no presentation skills. We failed to present the things which we have done in front of client. And that is what is the issue. Our client is in view that this person is merely filing the return. What is the role? Why we need to pay any additional fees for that? Okay. So we just need to learn the presentation skills as well. Sir, I will provide solution of each and every queries. Okay. Regarding your notices, we'll try to cover some points in this particular session. Sir, everyone is getting the voice now. Voice is perfect. Anilji, I think there is some issue at your end only. Okay. 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 Thank you, sir. Thank you for your response. So, and sir, one more thing which I want to share with you, that sir, we all know that the return filing is just a form. We just need to feed the data. Okay. Nothing. In GSTR 3B, we have to provide the outward supply, the input tax credit. A 12th pass student can easily feed. Okay. And also the same is available in 2B. If you will check the GSTR 9 and 9C from feeding perspective, nothing. It is very easy to feed the data, because annual consolidated data is automatically there. And if GSTR 3B is reconciling, in that case, nothing in GSTR 9 from feeding perspective. But if I am talking from the perspective of law, a lot of things are there. So from that perspective also, we need to be ready. अभी तक चल गया आपकी प्रैक्टिस के reconciliation हो गए done, but now onwards the practice will be completely based on technical, practical, analytical aspects of the law, and we need to focus on that. Okay, so today through this particular session we'll try to discuss a lot of practical queries under GST which is there. Okay, so अभी मैंने बोला ना that if we'll provide the simple solution to our client, client is not getting the point. Okay, client is not getting the point in a simple way. Hence we have also designed a very special book, GST Pe Charcha, the comic way. We have given the name of this book as GST Pe Charcha. Why we have given the name as GST Pe Charcha? Because in this particular book, we have covered around 700 plus practical problems of GST in a very simplified way, so that one can easily read the problem, one can easily provide the solution. That is what is the purpose. Okay. The purpose of this session is not to market this particular type of book. Okay, sir. That is what is the first confirmation or clearance from my side. Because this is the India's first book which is completely based on a comic series covering around 700 plus GST queries in a very simplified way. If you will read it once, it will attract your brain automatically. Okay, in that way we have prepared this book. This book has been launched by the former Chief Minister of Karnataka. Now, let's start our discussion. So in this book, basically we have covered the topics like registration, supply, mixed and composite, composition scheme, reverse charge, time of supply, place of supply, value of supply, e-invoice, e-way bill, blocked credit, export, LUT, refunds, job work, annual return reconciliation, section 74A, penalty, notices and assessment under GST, appeal and litigations under GST, advance ruling under GST, departmental audit under GST, accounting from GST perspective, important reconciliations, various records under GST, summon under GST, detention of goods under GST, construction industry under GST, input service distributor, e-commerce operator, and real estate sector. These are the sectors which has been covered in this particular book in a Q&A series, not based on sections. This book is based on problems, because at the end we have to provide the solution. Yes, there is requirement to knowledge of law. With that, we should have idea about the practical solution for our client. Okay, so do you think that these topics are more than sufficient? थोड़ा सा मुझे इसका resolution छोटा करना पड़ेगा. I just need to reduce the size of resolution. Okay, in this particular book we have defined two characters. Okay, one person is asking the problem and another person is providing the solutions. Okay, topic based questions are there, topic based problems are there, and topic based solution are there. So that if your client is coming in your office and asking anything from the perspective of registration related queries are there. If your client is coming to your office and asking about input tax credit, solution are there. If your client is coming to your office and asking about place of supply, time of supply, value of supply, audit and assessment, e-way bill, export, import, LUT, solution is there. If your client is coming and asking about reconciliation, solution is here. So everything has been covered in this particular book. And sir, in this particular session, we'll try to cover maximum number of queries through this particular session. Although it will take around 8 hours to complete each and every question. Okay. So we'll try to take the important topics. No, we know, sir, no interest is applicable because your debit note is related to September, and as per the time of supply principle, when the addition is going on, that date will be treated as time of supply, and accordingly, that date will be treated as the time of supply, and the actual liability will arise from that day. So no question of interest. That point we need to keep in our mind. Okay. One more suggestion from my side. One more suggestion from my side. One more suggestion from my side, sir. If you are into practice and you are merely handling the GST returns, the GST reconciliations, I request each one of you, please put off your pen. Don't write anything on the book. It will create issues for other, and no need of recording of this particular workshop because you will get the recordings. Okay. Now, sir, I request each one of you on the Zoom platform, on the YouTube platform, we all are into the practice of GST. Okay. And if we are merely filing the returns, we are merely preparing the reconciliations, we are merely preparing the GSTR 9 and 9C, believe me, we are just doing the work of a clerk. That work should be done by our tax professional, which is there in our office. That work should be done by article. That work should be done by our staff. We should be in the role of consultancy. And there were one problem. When we are supposed to provide the consultancy, kahin na kuch constraint aata hai. Okay. Mohammed sir, no difference. This is just a book which you have which you have bought physically, because ebook is not available for this. ITC 04, the maximum penalty is up to 50,000 rupees. Departmental authority can levy 5,000 rupees, can levy 15,000 rupees, can levy 25,000 rupees. This is completely based on the deliberation and the discussion which we are going to present in front of the authority. Sir, we'll discuss about the book. Just first, let me start the content, because as the initial stage of session, my purpose is not to sell this book. My purpose is to give you idea how the problem is going to be solved in the market. And also, one small example I want to say about the innovation. If we are, क्योंकि अभी नीरव जी ने question raise किया था that sir, client is not paying so much of fees. Okay, the point is that we just need to do something innovative. If we'll follow just the traditional things, in that case, our fees is going to be reduced. Okay. Through this session, I am going to give you a lot of practical ideas, okay, of my experience. ज़्यादा नहीं है, पर जितना भी है वो अच्छा experience है. So I am just going to share with you that. If we'll provide something add-on to our client, definitely client will pay. Just for an example, I have authored 5 to 6 books. Okay, this is the book, highly sold book, you can say, because in this book we have done an innovation. We have made it in a comic series, we have make it in a simplified way, we have make it as a colorful book, we have make it on a glossy paper. So I have just done the innovation, and based on that innovation we have received the results. So I request each one of you, the same is applicable for our practice as well. Just for an example, in my office, what we are doing, we have an internal audit mechanism. We are just preparing a report for our client and providing that report to our client. In that report, we are just going to share the reconciliation, the issues, the internal control, and the law related para. And we are inviting our client and discussing the matters with our client and charging a fees of 15,000 rupees for that report. Not filing GSTR 9 and 9C, not for GST returns. We are just providing the things to our client and providing the details that, sir, if you will not follow the same, in that case, in near future, you will be liable for a penalty of 2 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh rupees. That type of thing we have developed. And now our every client is availing the services for internal audit. And that report we are preparing based on GST and common portal and accounting data. This is just for an example when you have asked that, sir, how we can charge the fees. Because if you will earn the fees from your client, then only you can grow. May I take these questions in the session as well ना? मैं क्या ये प्रैक्टिकल चीजें भी डिस्कस कर सकता हूं ना आप लोगों के साथ? Because when I am taking the session on GST law, when I am taking the session on GSTR 9 and 9C, at that time the point is that I am not able to discuss these type of practical queries, and I am not able to feel the issues which you have faced. Okay, so I request जो भी आपके practical issues है ना, you can put it in the chat box. We'll discuss. Yes, Rahul sir, you can claim the input tax credit in October month if you forgot, because this October month is especially there. Okay, will give you extra half an hour for GSTR 9 and 9C related queries. You can post your queries at that time. Okay. So the point is that in our practice also, we should go with some innovations, some special things we should introduce in our practice so that, sir, as a chartered accountant or as a GST practitioners, it is completely based on our quality, how we are going to present. That is what is the thing. Okay. As a chartered accountant, no certification is required in GST. No certificate is required for the chartered accountant in GST. GST is completely for everyone who have the idea of law. But the point is that accountants are there, tax practitioners are there. They are not ready to gain the knowledge. And due to that, they are making mistakes while filing the returns, while handling the compliances. And when the same is covered under scrutiny, assessment, or audit, and at that time, a huge penalty is going to be levied by the department. At that time, there will be a question on the image of the GST practitioners, tax practitioners. The same may be applicable on chartered accountant course accountants as well. So we just need to maintain the level of knowledge. Okay. I am always saying that अभी तक तो हमने जो GST में reconciliations थे उससे काम हो गया. But in future there will be a question on law. There will be a question of analysis. There will be a question of technical points. So we should be ready for that, sir. Now, let's start our discussion on some important Q&A throughout this particular session. Although, first point is my registrations under GST. Registrations related, some of the queries we have covered through this particular book. Okay. Each and every topic we have covered. Some queries are simple, that also we have covered. Some queries are typical, that also we have covered. Okay. Today we have 1 hour and 30 minutes, and in that 1 hour and 30 minutes of 2 hours, we'll discuss the important chapters of this book with queries. Okay. Although those who have bought this book, they have or they will receive in the last week of November a detailed 8-hour video in which we have covered each and every query. Okay. That we'll discuss later on. We'll also planning for the free. Okay. Now, first query is GST registration is required for the exempted goods. Is GST registration is required for the exempted goods? No. As per section number 23 of CGST Act says that if you are exclusively dealing in the exempted goods, no need to take the GST registration. Section 23. In the video series, I am also going to share with you the sections so that you can easily link the practical problems with the section. For providing the presentation in front of client, queries are there. For presenting in front of departmental authority, you have the idea of law. Both things will be there in this particular book. So GST registration for exempted goods not required as per section number 23. Is GST mandatory for the interstate supply? Yes, as per section number 24 of CGST Act says, whenever you are making the supply outside state, in that case, no threshold limit will be applicable. You have to take the GST registration. कई बार होता क्या है, our client is coming to our office and suggesting that this product I am dealing, whether this is exempted or not. So we'll check it in exempted list. उसके बाद में हमको लगता है यार whether it is liable to take the GST registration or not. So through these type of queries, we can easily understand. If directly will give you the idea of section number 23, there may be chances you quite confused because section reference. But here first we are covering the topic the query, and then after we're linking with this section so that everyone can get the idea, everyone can get the point. Sir, it is applicable on goods and services as well. Can a freelancer with 12 lakh turnover export services without registration? So here turnover is 12 lakh rupees, below the threshold limit, but the person is involved in export that is outside India supply. So whether the GST registration required or not, so no, export without registration is not permissible even below the threshold limit. You have to take the GST registration. So we have designed multiple scenarios, and based on that scenarios, we have created the queries so that one can easily understand the things. Is PAN mandatory for GST registration? But obvious, because the GSTN is allotted based on PAN. So this is very simple query. Those who are starting with the GST practice, this particular queries will be helpful for them as well. Those who are already into practice, so we have complex queries as well. Can multiple registrations be taken in one state for different trade names? Yes, you may take multiple GSTN for single PAN. Okay, based on your nature, horizontal, vertical designing of the business, you may take the different GST registration. Here we have given a quotation for the easy understanding. Empower your business, get GST registered today. Can a business operate without a physical premises and still registration? No, proof of valid business premises is mandatorily required. Because as per section number 25 of the GST Act, when you will go for the registration, there is requirement to submission of the documentation. You have to submit the copy of the principal place of business. With that, you have to provide the ownership documentation. We also need to provide the additional place of business related details if applicable. Anita ji, yes, your turnover will be there. Aggregate turnover including export of services, no threshold is applicable. Now this person is saying, finally, I am getting the concepts of registration. Okay. Now, registration related complex scenarios are also there. Okay. Now, what is the penalty for late registration after liability? So penalty will be 10,000 rupees or tax evaded, whichever is higher. That means suppose your turnover has crosses the specific limit, and after taking the registration, if you have not taken the GST registration, in that case penalty will be 10,000 rupees. Or suppose during that period you have made some supply, so on that supply you have not made the payment to the GST officer, so tax evaded, whichever is higher, that will be the penalty. This is the penalty. Okay, tax you have to deposit, this is the penalty, which is an additional amount. A form. Sir, I know you have a lot of queries, so I request each one of you, don't post the queries right now. After 30 minutes, we'll take certain queries. So at that time, please put your queries. A firm's GST registration was cancelled suo moto due to non-filing, but it had utilized ITC and pending invoices can still claim ITC after revocation and registration. If you have taken the GST registration revocation within the timeline, 90 days, 180 days, in that case, yes, you can claim the input tax credit. Otherwise, your ITC will not be allowed on the invoices. कई बार होता क्या है, क्लाइंट का रजिस्ट्रेशन सुओ मोटो कैंसिल हो जाता है, डिपार्टमेंट इज गोइंग टू कैंसिल द सुओ मोटो रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ द टैक्स पेयर. Okay, and now we have to file the revocation application. We forgot to file the revocation application within the period. Now whatever will be the input goods which is there with the particular person, whether the person is eligible to claim the input tax credit. कई बार हम बोलते हैं यार तो claim कर लेना, मिल जाएगी, but sir, the same will not be eligible because you have not filed the revocation within the timeline. Can a warehouse in another state be used without registration? No, registration is needed in each and every state. Okay, you cannot maintain the warehouse as well. कई बार क्या होता है, our goods is stored at the transporter place and departmental authorities visited the transporter place and departmental authority has found some goods, and suppose the transporter place is not added as an additional place of business. In that case, departmental authority may treat that goods as a supply and charge 100% tax on that. Sir, try to understand my thing, that if no investigation, no scrutiny, no audit, no assessment, everything is fine, kuch bhi chal jayega. But whenever there will be an involvement of departmental authority, we should be very much careful, because each and everything is going to be play a very important role for us. So we should be very much careful. Is Aadhaar authentication is required for GST registration? Yes, definitely Aadhaar authentication is required. Okay. I am also give much more time to the important queries. Okay. I request each one of you, please be there till the last moment of session, because this session is going to be very special for you, because we are directly covering the queries and we are taking the sections as well. Can registration be amendment for change in business? Yes. As per section number 28 of CGST Act, you may file an amendment for core field, for non-core field. If you have changes in the business particulars, like principal place of business, like additional place of business, like director changes, partner changes, like mobile number, mail ID amendment, trade name amendment, you have to file the amendment applications. So amendments can be filed under two heads. One is core field, another is non-core field. Can a composition dealer switch to regular scheme? Yes, definitely a composition taxpayer may convert into the regular scheme. CMP 04 can be filed and may pay taxes as a regular person. Sir, I hope all the registration related queries has been covered in this particular discussion. Yes, you may file the amendment application any point of time. Yes, Krishan sir, if a departmental authority has provided you the opportunity of being heard and if the reply has not been submitted, in that case, the registration may be cancelled by the departmental authority. Necessary documents for amendment: if you are amending the principal place of business, then the ownership proof one and another supporting document is required. Yes, sir. In case of additional place of business, there is requirement of leave and license agreement. Without that, you cannot include. Yes, sir. For export of services, if you are making the outside India sales, in that case, you have to take the GST registration, because in case of interstate supply, there is a requirement to take the GST registration. Sir, in case of stock transfer from composition to regular, you have to file the ITC form. Okay, there is requirement to file the ITC 01 form, and through that you have to claim the input tax credit. That chapter, Nirav sir, that chapter also have covered in this book itself. If you will check the index, then ITC related forms has already been covered in this. Okay. Sir, how was our first chapter on registration? Sir, ITC 04 is for job work only. ITC 01 is for transfer of input tax credit. If turnover is 20 lakh rupees, in that case, no need to take the GST registration in case of goods. But in case of services, yes, GST registration is required. Sir, within 6 months, you have to initiate your business. If you are not taking, in that case, departmental authority may cancel your registration. No, sir, in that case, departmental authority is not allow Satish sir the input tax credit. But yes, if you have filed the appeal, in that case, you just need to add this ground in your appeal so that you will be eligible. Yes, sir. Girish sir, whatever will be your warehouse, you have to register that warehouse as well where your goods is registered. Sir, if you have declared, Dhanshri sir, if you have declared in December month and amended the same in March, in that case, the same will automatically there in your GSTR 9 table 4. I think a lot of queries are there with respect to GST. And really, this is very great for me that you all are posting your queries and we all are enhancing our knowledge. Yes, sir. If you have not provided the detail, Pradeep, sir, if you have not provided the details within the timeline regarding your amendment, in that case, departmental authority may impose the penalty under section 125 of CGST Act, maximum up to 50,000 rupees. Yes, you may apply for the registration in the same month. No timeline is there. Sir, Sandeep sir, for sale and purchase, there is requirement of timeline to take the GST registration within 30 days from the date of liability. If your turnover crosses the limit, from that 30 days you have. Bhavesh sir, if your client has received the amount from foreign for the services and departmental authority has found the same, then may impose the penalty for not taking the registration. Yes, Nirav sir, in between the years, you may go from composition to regular. So you have to file the annual return, both the forms. Hence, while filing the GSTR 9C, they have also provided the special field for providing the reconciliation. 20 lakh limit is for services and 40 lakh is for goods. Sridhar sir, which software is good for filing the GST returns? Sir, in our office, we are using the Compu Office software. That is, we think, best. We'll discuss the cancellation provision for GST registration. Yes, sir. How was our first chapter related to registration? We'll discuss the casual dealer. Through this particular book, we have just tried to cover your queries, okay, so that whatever will be there in your brain, we can just produce on this book so that one can easily get the idea. And sir, I just want to say one thing. This book is not merely for the GST professionals. This book is for your articles and staff as well, because we have created this book in a very simplified way, okay, so that your article and staff can very easily, वो लोग बोर हो रहे हैं lunch में, afternoon, half an hour, they can easily read the book because it is in a colorful glossy paper. If you want to see, this is the book, okay, and this book is completely in a glossy paper and a very attractive book, you can say. Sir, before cancellation, yes, departmental authority may issue the show cause notice, and based on that show cause notice, you have to provide the additional documentation. Without adding additional place of businesses, if you sold the goods and your goods is stored at that place, in that case, departmental authority may treat that particular goods as your supply and charge GST on that. Sir, GST and suspended, in that case, within the timeline, you may file a revocation application. After timeline, you will not be eligible to go for revocation application. Then after, you have to file an appeal before the appellant authority, first appeal. Sir, GST registration is required. Yes, on account of free samples, you have to reverse the input tax credit, because if you are not paying the output tax, you have to reverse the input tax credit. On GST and common portal, Santosh sir, you cannot get the registration activation. Sir, appellant tribunal, you can go on the GST portal, you may file the appeal. If you have any personal queries regarding that, you may connect with me over WhatsApp. Many participants are sending the messages regarding the book, okay. So I will share with you the things at the end of the session, and if you require the things right now, in that case, I may share, okay, because this book actually this book is completely designed for the staff, for the GST professionals, for the GST practitioners, for the chartered accountant, for easy understanding of the things. Okay, so many comments are there, so I'm just going to share in next 2 minutes about this specific book. Okay, no sir, state GST department cannot go for the physical verification. If they are coming, in that case you may demand that, sir, where is my permission from central GST department, because my jurisdiction under central GST department. Okay, that is also a very important thing that we need to know, because kai बार होता क्या है, we have no idea about our rights, and due to that हम लोग डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी के सामने आर्ग्यू ही नहीं कर पाते. ओके, सो सर, this is the book GST पे चर्चा comic way. In this particular session, in next 1.5 hours, we'll try to discuss maximum number of queries. But those who is going to bought this book will provide a 8-hour detailed live class. In that case, each and every query of this book and GST related will be covered in that particular session. Okay, the recordings will also be provided. This book is physical only, no ebook is available, because जो मजा physical learning में है वो digital book में नहीं है. Actual price of this book is 1499 with the recordings and with the classes. But now this book is available at 700 only. Those who wish to place the order for this book, okay, because you have mentioned in chat box. So we have a QR code. Those who wish to bought this book, then 700 rupees you have to pay on this QR code. After buying this book, you have to fill a Google form, and my team will share with you the book at your postal address. Okay, and you will get the physical book only. This book price is 700 only for today only. The price is applicable or valid for today only. Reason being, we have already sold this book at 800 rupees, 900, 1400 rupees. But now we have a CSR activity under which we are selling this book at 700. That is cost for us, because in this book is completely designed on the glossy papers. This is a physical book which will be shared on your postal address. Okay, so anyone who wish to buy, in that case, you may click the screenshot, you may make the payment of 700 rupees and fill the Google form which I have shared. I request, I will not share these things once again. So if you wish to place your order right now, or if you wish to place the order by today evening, in that case, just keep this QR code with you so that you can make the payment very easily. Okay, this 700 is just the cost of the book. And yes, definitely, after buying this book, if you will not satisfied with the content, you just need to text us, we'll refund your amount. Okay, because the complete session, around 7 to 8 hour classes will be there with this book itself. I request, if it is possible for you to invest just 700 rupees for your knowledge in a simplified way, invest it and buy this book for your office, so that your article, your assistant, your staff can easily go through with the book in your office itself. But I request, after placing the order, just keep in your mind, you have to provide your complete postal address on this link. Okay, 700 rupees including all the charges. The actual cost of books for us is 590, and 110 we are charging for the postal charges. So I request each one of you, if you wish to pay, you can pay, and after paying, just fill the Google form. And this is my assurance to you, after buying this book, you will not be unsatisfied. This will be a great book which will help you out during your GST journey. Okay, anyone who is to buy, you can scan the QR code, you can make the payment. Okay, book cost cover all the charges. Okay, and still, if you have any query regarding the book, you may connect on this number. Now we'll take the again our chapter. You can go through with the chapters, then after, if you want to buy, you can buy, because my purpose is not to make any profit through this book on today, because this is our CSR activity. We have to sold this book. We have offer on our two products for today. Our second product is also unique. We have developed the GST cards. This is the first product in India. These are the GST cards which is there, in which we have covered around 100 cards. Okay, on each and every card we have provided the reference of section and the rule. You may check it right now. These are the cards which will be there. You may keep these cards in your pocket. On these cards we have given the reference of section and the rules and the interlinkage of section and rules. These cards are also available for today at 700 only. Okay, including the postal charges. Those who wish to buy both the products, that is book and the cards, total 1400 rupees you have to pay. If you wish to buy only book, 700, only cards, 700. This price is valid for today only. This cards you may carry in your pocket very easily, okay, and each and every card is with the reference of section with rule, because nowhere it is available where we can get the law and the rules in line with, but here you may get the section and the rules reference with that. We have also given the rules deliberation explanation in a very easy way. So I think if you are ready to invest 1,400 rupees for your knowledge, this is the best combo for today that you can buy, okay. But just ensure after purchase you just need to fill the Google form. No ebook is available, sir. No, sir, we are not going to market, because many people are asking regarding the particular comic book. Hence, we have shared the things, because many times the messages are going to interrupt in the session. Okay, hence we have shared the things. If you wish to buy, you can. Otherwise, we are providing the solution of your queries. We are taking our next chapter as well. Okay. Thank you once again. This is my last request to you. If you wish to pay, then you may scan the QR code. You can make the payment. Okay. So our next chapter is the supply. WhatsApp number I have shared. If you have any query, any concern related to GST, you can definitely connect. Supply. Is GST applicable on free sample distributed to the consumers? Yes, GST is applicable on the free samples which has been distributed to the consumers, because if you will pay the output tax, then you will be eligible to claim the input tax credit. If you are not supposed to pay the GST on your free samples, then you have to reverse the input tax credit. Section number 17, subsection 5, if you will check regarding the blocked credit, you will found the free samples as well. Is donation by a registered person to a charitable trust treated as supply? Sir, any donation to a registered person to a charitable trust is treated as supply? No. But a very special line which is mentioned in this, that is without any consideration. Suppose if there will be any condition, in that case, that donation will be treated as supply. Just for example, I have given a donation to a particular charitable trust, or मैंने उनको बोला there is one event, you just need to present my services in your event, and for that I am paying you a donation of 1 lakh rupees. So in that case, that donation is with a condition, and whenever there will be a donation with a condition, then the same will be treated as supply schedule 1. That we need to keep in our mind. Okay, so donation to a charitable trust without condition, no supply. But if donation is with condition, the same will be treated as supply. Is GST applicable on inter-office services within same pen but different state? Yes, because if there will be an interstate supply from one person to another person, same PAN number, different GSTN, that will be treated as distinct person or related party. So yes, the same will be liable for GST schedule number 1. And valuation will be decided as per rule number 28 of CGST rules, which will be applicable in case of distinct person and related party. I hope you all are able to link the queries with the provisions. Am I right, sir? You are getting the points? Are actionable claims considered supply under GST? No, actionable claims other than lottery, betting, gambling are not treated as supply. So actionable claims will not be treated as supply. Whenever there will be an actionable claim which will be depend on the future, the same will not be treated as supply. Is import of services without consideration taxable under GST? Sir, import of services without any consideration, whether the same will be treated as GST? So, आपको याद रहेगा schedule number 1 of CGST Act and schedule 1 of CGST Act talks that import of service is an exception. If no consideration, in that case also the same will be treated as supply. Suppose I have taken a service from Germany regarding any technical assistance, but I have not paid a single rupee. That is called as import of service without consideration. But as I have received and I am the importer, so I have to pay the amount under reverse charge mechanism on import of service, and I will be eligible to claim the input tax credit. That is also one point which we need to keep in our mind. Because import of service without consideration is covered under schedule number 1 of CGST Act. कई बार क्या होता है, हम अगर डायरेक्ट बेरेक्ट से पढ़े, so we are not able to link it with the provisions, but when we are first facing with the queries, then after we can easily provide the solution of that particular issue. Is reimbursement of expenses considered as supply? If there will be a reimbursement of expenditure, whether the same will be treated as supply or not? Yes, if it is a part of contractual agreement or contractual obligation, the same will be treated as supply. Sir, Manoj sir, for the value which is you have paid the GST, regarding the import of services without consideration, Manojji, the valuation will be decided through rule number 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 31A. Rule number 27, which is specifically here when the money and monetary consideration both will be there. So departmental authority is going to decide accordingly. Okay. This will be based on market price. This will be based on open market value. Accordingly, the valuation is going to be decided. Okay. Krishan sir, why we have not given the reference of section and rules? Because when we are going to cover it in the class, at that time we supposed to discuss the sections as we are covering right now, so that you can mark note of that. Otherwise, if we'll give everything inbuilt, so कहीं ना कहीं ऐसा आएगा कि यार इसमें से पढ़ना ही तो है, why we need to learn? Otherwise, if you are going to write it, it will be there in your brain. That is what is the purpose. If the reimbursement of expenditure is part of contractual agreement. Now, sir, what we are doing? Client is sending the data to us. We are feeding it on GSTN common portal. We are filing it on GSTN common portal. Am I right? Suppose through analysis of financial statement, we found there will be a reimbursement of expenditure. In that case, what we need to do? We just need to check the agreement. And as per the agreement, we have to identify whether it is contractual liability or not. And if the same is liability, in that case, GST will be applicable. The same will be treated as supply. Because this type of reimbursement expenditure system will automatically not identify and not transfer the same into GSTR 3B or 1. And there may be chances your client have no idea. And client is coming to your office and, sir, this reimbursement of expenditure will be treated as supply or not? And you are not in situation to provide the response. At that time, we have to check the agreement. Why you have received the contract, why you have received this amount of reimbursement expenditure, and accordingly, we have to decide the applicability of supply. Now, we'll take the advanced scenarios or supply. Is employee second-hand group companies as a supply? If the employee is going to provide any services, you can say in between the group companies, in that case, whether the same will be treated as supply or not. If the same is distinct person, yes, the same will be treated as supply, because it will be treated as supply, and the valuation has been decided as per rule number 28 of CGST rules, which will be applicable in case of distinct person and related parties. Sir, in case of no margin, that is the expenditure made and the amount has been received for that expenditure, no GST. Okay, but if the same has been made on behalf, okay, in that case, the same will be treated as a part of value, because as per the section number 15 of the CGST Act regarding the valuation, if there will be expenditure which has been made on behalf, in that case, the same will become part. Okay. But if no margin, no GST, no supply. Are liquidated damages treated as supply under GST or not? Sir, liquidated damages is for doing or performing of an act. You can say, suppose I am an employee of SDFC Bank, and if I want to left that job, in that case, I have to pay a liquidated damages. I have to pay, suppose, 5 lakh rupees for non-violation of notice period, for violation of notice period. In that case, this will be treated as a supply. Hence, if you are doing the audit or GST work of any bank or NBFC, and if they have shown anything in their financial statement with the name of liquidated damages, then we just need to ensure whether GST has been paid or not. Otherwise, hota kya hai? We have the idea that whatever will be the return which has been sent by the client, will upload it on GST and common portal. Then we are just providing the intermediary services as a clerk. So we need to keep this point in our mind. Is ISD registration mandatory for common services in multi-state units? Yes, definitely, because input service distributor is mandatory, because now no cross charge mechanism is there. Earlier kya hota tha? They are just supposed to prepare the invoices, and based on that they are supposed to transfer the input tax credit. But now this input service distribution mechanism is there. So under ISD you have to take a separate registration, and then after the head office can distribute the input tax credit. Is CSR expenditure is considered as a deemed supply? Yes, definitely. CSR expenditure will be considered as a deemed supply, and you will not be eligible to claim the input tax credit if you are not paying the taxes on the CSR expenditure. Section number 17, subsection 5, which is very important. And CSR expenditures without consideration will cover under schedule number 1 of CGST Act, which is without consideration. The same will be treated as supply. Are license fees paid to municipal corporation taxable under GST? Yes, if the same is not covered under the exemption list. Because यहाँ पर municipal authority, municipal corporations दोनों अलग अलग हैं, so we have to check it. We have to check it. Are director personal services considered under reverse charge mechanism? Yes, if a director is going to provide any services, in that case the same will be liable to reverse charge mechanism, section 9 subsection 3. But if the director is taking the sitting fees, which is in the nature of employment, in that case no RCM is applicable. So from director perspective, we just need to keep 2 points in our mind. Suppose I am a director in a company and I am providing the advisory services to the company. Yes, RCM applicable. But if I am taking the sitting fees as an employee, in that case no RCM is applicable. Both are different. We just need to keep this point in our mind. So director point is okay for you? Now this person is saying that supply seems very simple with your support. Is GST applicable on recovery from employees for notice pay? So you can say notice pay recovery is as good as violation of the employment terms, that we can say like a liquidated damages. So yes, the same will be liable to GST. So we need to check this point as well. Is discount received from supplier after supply liable to GST reversal? Sir, discount mila after making the supply, then whether GST will be applicable or not. So we know very well that sir, GST which is going to be received after supply, in that case the discount will be treated as financial discount, and on account of that discount no GST input tax credit reversal is required, because discount term has been decided after. Yes, sir. In case of a director is a medical professional and the person is going to receive the professional payment, then yes, RCM is applicable. Yes, sir. If director is going to receive 2% commission, RCM is applicable. Just the point is that only on account of the salary, that is employer-employee relationship, GST not applicable. Otherwise, GST is applicable. We just need to understand two terms: contract for service, contract of service. Have you idea about these two terms? Contract of service, contract for service. Sir, please be there. Through this particular session, we are going to cover a lot of queries which is there in your mind. Sir, have you idea about contract for service and contract of service? Sir, Contract for service is like I am providing my services to the Batuk consultancy. I am a professional here. I am just going to take the sessions for the Batuk consultancy. So this agreement is called as contract for service. Okay, where principal to principal relationship is here. I am also a principal, Batuk consultancy is also a principal. Second example, where suppose I am an employee in Batuk consultancy. Batuk consultancy is paying 1 lakh rupee per month, and Sachin, whatever we are saying, you need to perform. That is called as contract of service, where principal and agent relationship is there. So we just need to keep in our mind that whenever there will be an employee-employer transactions related things will come, then we just need to keep in our mind the picture of contract of service. Okay. If contract of service, no GST. If contract for service, GST is applicable. So always when we are presenting in front of departmental authority, कई बार हम simple term use करते हैं employer-employee relationship, it will create some issues. We just need to use technical terms in our presentation. Sir, question is very good. Ganeshan sir has raised a very good question that if employer and employee and agency is going to provide the services related to employer and employee to the businessman. Am I right, sir? You are asking this particular point. So this will be treated as contract for service, and yes, GST will be applicable because this is the part of service. Discount will discuss later on. We have a lot of queries that also will discuss. Okay. Yes, contract can be oral, but proof is required because nowhere is mentioned that contract should be written or contract should be oral. If IVF centers are selling the injections but considering it as a package of service, then sir, we just need to understand it is a composite supply or mixed supply. Accordingly, we have to decide. Okay, next chapter is based on that only. We'll discuss at that time. Everything we just need to learn from the law perspective. Is discount received from after? Question done. Is recovery for canteen facility from employees term as outward supply? Yes, unless provided at subsidized rate without profit element as per CBIC circular. If the company is going to provide the canteen facility to the employees, okay, and charging the amount and no profit element is there, in that case, no question of applicability of GST. But yes, if there will be a profit element, then GST will be applicable. So we just need to identify. Yes, Aruna ji will try to cover the place of supply as well. Is transfer of business assets without consideration supply under GST? Transfer of business assets without consideration will be treated as supply? Sir, this is my question to you without reading the answer, whether the transfer of business assets without consideration will be treated as supply? Yes, sir, the same will be treated as supply because schedule number 1 of CGST Act, which is especially applicable where no consideration but transaction will be treated as supply and GST will be applicable. So yes, GST applicable. Schedule number 1, which cover the transfer of business assets and disposal of business assets. Are back-end incentives received by dealers from manufacturers taxable? Any incentive which has been received by the dealers from the manufacturer, whether the same will be taxable? Very basic. Yes. Because in the profit and loss account of our client, we found a specific term like incentive. Then first we need to ensure whether GST has been paid or not. For that incentive, you have issued the debit note or not for paying the taxes. For that incentive, whether you have issued the invoice or not for payment of GST. Sir, I request those who have joined this session, please be there for next 1 hour. We'll discuss a lot of practical issues and you will feel that yes, we all are facing these issues and these are my own issues. Okay. Now, इंसेंटिव. सो कई बार होता क्या है, वी फाउंड अ स्पेसिफिक टर्म इन द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट बट वी आर नॉट एबल टू सजेस्ट अवर क्लाइंट व्हाट विल बी द करेक्ट मैकेनिज्म टू रिपोर्ट, what will be the correct mechanism to show it in the GSTR1 return. So basically what we need to do, like incentive, we may suggest our client you should issue the debit note, so that on account of that debit note you may pay the taxes and your counterparty can claim the input tax credit. And another option, you may issue the invoice so that counterparty may claim the ITC. Are services rendered by branch office to head office outside India considered as export? One branch office to head office outside India hai, but both are under same PAN number. Both are under same PAN number, then the same will not be treated as export because PAN number is same. Okay, then the same will be treated as interstate supply, related party, distinct person. Accordingly, rule number 28 is going to decide the value. कई बार होता क्या, ऐसे सारे ट्रांजेक्शन होता है, वी आर नॉट एबल टू डिसाइड वेदर जीएसटी इज एप्लीकेबल और नॉट. So now kahin na kahin if we'll read this book, if we'll go through with the queries, in that case it will be there in our brain. This is the human nature. Sir, आप में से कितने लोगों को पता है, did you know that or you have taken the memory technique session from me? Anyone who have taken the memory technique session from me? Those who have taken, they have idea that we have covered the complete CGST law through the memory techniques just in 4 to 5 hours. Okay, we have covered the complete CGST law, and sir, you all have gained the knowledge of every section now. So कई बार क्या होता है, we are not able to learn the things or memorize the thing. We are not able to learn and memorize the things through the mere reading. Many times we have to introduce certain concepts. Many times we have to introduce certain Q&A. Through the Q&A, we can easily understand. So the purpose of the example is only that when you will read the queries, it will be there in your brain for a longer amount of time in comparison to section, in comparison to law, so that you can provide the consultancy. That is what is the purpose. Okay, because but Santosh sir, I expect that you have memorized the maximum number of sections. If you recap all the sections for 3 to 4 times, then it will automatically be there. Now I'm ready to provide the consultancy on complex supply related provisions. Sir, are you ready to provide the consultancy on complex issues of supply? Yes, definitely we'll plan a one more free session on memory techniques in near future. Definitely. We know, sir, if registered contractor is providing the canteen services in a factory and charging the GST, then definitely the person will be eligible to claim the input tax credit because that person is involved in the business and the person is buying in the course or furtherance of business only. Sir, supply related chapter is okay for everyone. Just let me know once in the chat box. I expect reply from each and everyone. Sir, supply is okay for you. Are you getting the points? Are you in view that this session is going to be helpful? These type of questions will be helpful for you. Next. What is a composite supply under GST? What do you mean by the composite supply under GST? Composite supply means a supply consisting of 2 or more supplies which is naturally bundled, with one supply is a principal supply. Now, how we can decide that this is a naturally bundled supply? Market perception, majority of market players, and consumer perception. These are the 4 important factors which going to be decide that this is a naturally bundled or not. And sir, हमको लगता है this composite supply and mixed supply are very simple, no rocket science is here. Why need to give more importance to composite and mixed supply? But this is the most technical point nowadays. Because sir, we all know that filing of return is easy, handling of compliance is easy, But at the time of litigation, departmental authority is going to raise a demand on account of complex issues. Now, suppose a particular supply, which is a mixed supply, due to lack of knowledge, we have decided as composite supply, and we have paid the GST as principal supply. Principal supply GST rate applicable at the rate of 5%. But if departmental authority is going to treat that supply as a mixed supply, GST rate will be highest rate. Suppose one product is at the rate of 18%, and due to that, in future, departmental authority may create a very huge demand with interest, with penalty. And at that time, your client will come to your office and say that, Mr. Sachin, you have handled my all the compliances, you have taken care of my returns, then why this type of huge demand is here? That point we need to keep in our mind. Okay, so this composite and mixed supply seems very simple, but it is very difficult. How will memorize the memory technique of this section? Sir, number 8 is a mixture of 00. You can say 00. Number 8 is a mixture of 00. From mixture word, we should memorize mixed and composite supply, section number 8. Okay, on the request of our Santosh sir, I am just going to try to share 3 to 4 memory techniques once again in this particular session. Okay. Mahendra sir, no. If the supplier is going to issue the credit note as a financial credit note, then departmental authority cannot treat it as an incentive. We just need to maintain the documentation. So, what is a composite supply? 2 or more supply, naturally bundled. How is tax determined in case of composite supply? As per the principal supply, you can say air conditioner and installation. It is a composite supply because without installation, no use of AC. So we can say it is a composite supply. So GST rate which is applicable on AC, the same will be applicable on installation. How is tax determined in case of mixed supply? Highest rate. Suppose 2 products, hair oil and face wash. Suppose combo कर दिया and they are selling both the products as a combo, hair oil and face wash. Suppose face wash GST rate is 5%, on hair oil 18%. In that case, it will be treated as mixed supply and 18% will be applicable. And at that time, if we have suggested to our client pay 5%, it will create issues in future. So I am trying to share with you the importance. What is a mixed supply under GST? 2 or more supply which is not naturally bundled, or a specific supply which is not a composite supply, the same will be treated as mixed supply. Is a gift box with chocolates, watch and perfume a mixed supply or composite supply? Gift box with chocolates, with watch and with perfume. आपने देखा होगा at the time of festival season, many businessmen are selling these products in a bunch. Okay, and as our client will always be a businessman, so there may be chances on Diwali our client is providing a combo in which mixed supply is there, that is perfume is there, chocolate is there and watch is there. Client is coming to our office and saying that I will share it in one box, may I treat it as a composite supply? और client को तो composite और mix से कोई मतलब ही नहीं है ना. Client may directly ask what will be the rate of GST applicable, and if we have no idea about GST, we can say you may charge GST as a principal supply. That is, suppose we have suggested him 5%, but it is a mixed supply and GST will be applicable at the rate of highest of these 3. So we need to keep this point. If we have idea about the mixed and composite supply, then only we can analyze that particular situation. We can suggest the proper solution to our client, or we may suggest our client that this combo is not perfect, you should go with this combo. We may suggest now, as a chartered accountant, as a tax practitioner, as a GST consultant, our responsibility is not limited to merely filing the returns. We just need to provide the consultancy that how our client will be on a safer side in case of any litigation. Okay. When supplies come bundled, the tax rules jumbled. Composite follows the lead, mixed picks the highest speed. Is a hotel room with complimentary breakfast is a composite supply or mixed supply? Sir, majority of the market players are doing one thing. If you will go for a room booking, they will provide the complimentary breakfast. So it is majority of market players. Also, as a guest, I also feel that in morning I will get the breakfast. So this is a perception of consumer and both are naturally bundled. So it will be treated as composite supply. What if supply classification is wrongly declared? Kya hoga? Incorrect classification may lead to tax shortfall, and in future departmental authority may impose penalty, interest, and there will be an issue with your client. So we need to keep this point in our mind from the composite and mixed supply perspective. Sir, the composite and mixed supply is okay for? Sir, for restaurant, if we have opted for 5% under composition without input tax credit, then rate will be 5% only. Okay. Now, composition scheme under GST. So in case of composition scheme, you will be eligible for zero input tax credit. In case of composition scheme, you will be eligible for zero input tax credit. That is, sir, look on number 10. Number 10 includes zero. That is zero eligibility to claim the input tax credit, and section number 10 of CGST Act is related to composition scheme. So now, whenever there will be an issue on account of composition scheme and we have to prepare any draft, how will memorize the section? Number 10 includes zero, that is zero eligibility to claim the input tax credit. Hence this section number 10 is related to composition scheme. Now read the questions. I hope you all are gaining the knowledge of memory techniques as well. Section number 10 includes zero eligibility to claim the input tax credit, composition scheme. Okay. Whenever I am taking the session, my only purpose is to provide you the simplified knowledge so that you can use it in your practical scenario. Okay. Now, can a taxpayer opt for composition scheme if they supply exempt goods as well as taxable goods? No. If you are supplying the exempted as well as taxable goods, then you have to go for regular scheme. You will not be eligible for composition scheme. Or if you are opting for composition scheme, on your all supply, you have to pay that rate of tax. This is a very special question, may be asked by our client that, sir, I am involved in both the products and I wish to opt for composition scheme. May I? So our solution should be based on section number 10. If a manufacturer of ice cream eligible for composition scheme? No. Manufacturer of ice cream, pan masala, tobacco are ineligible under section 10. But in the restaurant, if the ice cream is going to be served, in that case, no issue. Because the restaurants had a lot of products, and this is a part of ice cream, is a part of restaurant. But yes, if you are providing a separate counter for the ice cream, in that case, it will create issues. You will not be eligible to do so. Okay. So manufacturer of ice cream is eligible for composition scheme? No. But in restaurant, yes. Because you are not a manufacturer. You are just providing your services where the goods concept is also there. Can a composition dealer issue a e-invoice or B2B suppliers? No, not at all. Because the counterpart is not eligible to input tax credit, and this person is also not going to charge the normal rate of GST. So no e-invoicing is applicable for the composition scheme. R. Interstate outward supply. Are interstate outward supply permitted under composition scheme? Are interstate outward supply permitted under composition scheme? No, not at all. Making out interstate supply violates the condition of composition scheme. I am just going to share with you one practical example. Recently, one client has come to my office and that person has opted for the composition scheme. Due to one mistake, that person has generated the e-way bill. May I share the example now? May I share the practical example? Are you there for me? Krishanji will read your query. Okay. So that client has opted for the composition scheme, and by mistake that client has prepared the e-way bill. Okay. Due to that, what happened? Departmental authority has issued a show cause notice that, Mr. As you have issued the e-way bill, as a composition dealer, you are not required to do so. Okay. And you have issued the e-way bill for outside state. Okay. So you will not be eligible for the composition scheme. So from your date of registration, we are just going to convert you as a regular person and imposing the tax liability with interest with penalty. Is that genuine? Although the actual scenario was that the person was buying the goods from one company that is limited, from limited company, that person was buying the goods, and that person has made a purchase return to that particular industry, but due to some mistake, that person has created the e-way bill for sales, and departmental authority is asking for the tax from since beginning and conversion from composition to regular. Is that genuine, sir? I have visited the department. I have argued with the proper officer that, sir, I have made the mistake. So the proper officer told me that, Mr. Sachin, अगर हम चाहते तो we may directly cancel the GST registration. We may directly ask for the interest, tax, and penalty. We have given you opportunity to present in front of us, and this is the show cause notice. So what you can do, you just need to pay 50,000 rupees as a journal penalty because client has made the mistake. At that time, I have filed my argument that, sir, why a journal penalty? This is just a mistake, and mistake can be made by anyone. Human is a specific example of mistake, you can say. So I have presented in front of departmental authority. I argued that, sir, you can charge the penalty of 5,000 rupees because under section 125 maximum up to 50,000 rupees. You are not supposed to charge whole 50,000 rupees for a very silly mistake. And you can check the counterparty is a limited company. How I can sell the goods? How my taxpayer can sell the goods to a limited company as a composition dealer? And if it is possible, then my client is ready to convert as a regular, but ask with the limited company, ask the counter documentation. But the person is not entertaining. Then after we have filed appeal in front of appellant authority, and within 5 minutes, our case has been decided and a penalty of 2,000 has been imposed on us. So we just need to decide how we need to argue, how we need to file our argument in front of authorities. Many times, departmental authority is not going to consider. Sir, for export, yes, if you are only making outside India supply, it will not be treated as export. There is requirement to fulfill the conditions of export. The amount should be received in foreign currency. Okay, FIRC should be issued. These are the mandatory conditions which we should follow. Can a composition taxpayer avail ITC on capital goods and input? No. Composition person is not eligible to claim a single rupee of input tax credit. We have a slogan for composition scheme: simple tax, no credit to claim. Composition is far easy, for easy, is not the fame. Is a composition dealer required to reverse ITC on stock held at the time of opting in? Suppose I was registered as a regular taxable person and during the financial year I have opted for the composition scheme. So now when I will be opting for the composition scheme, I am opting for the composition scheme, I will not able to pay the tax at a normal rate. Okay, so I will not be eligible to claim the input tax credit. So whatever will be the input goods which is there in my stock as on the date of conversion, I have to reverse the input tax credit. ITC 03 is required to be filed. Reversal of ITC. Sir, if you are supplying any goods or services outside India and the amount is not received in foreign currency, the amount is received in Indian currency, then the same will not be treated as export. The same will be treated as interstate supply only. That point we need to keep in our mind. Many times when I am taking the sessions, I am asking one question on import, export, and LUT. That, sir, suppose I am in India and I have supplied to outside India, whether the same will be treated as export. 70% of the professional or 80% of the professionals are replying yes. No, sir. It will be treated as interstate supply only unless and until it will qualify the conditions. It will satisfy the conditions to become an export. That point we need to keep in our mind. Can a taxpayer pay composition tax at different rate for goods and services? No. Separate schemes exist, 1%, 5%, 6% in case of services. These are the specified rates for the composition scheme that we should follow. No other rate can be followed. Sir, once let me know the registration related queries, the supply related queries, the composition related queries, the composite and mixed supply related queries are important for you. Are you is in view that these queries are important, special for us, and we have learned some practical aspects of law, not from theoretical perspective. We have learned something from practical aspects. Kuljit sir, can you please ping me or WhatsApp? Will share with you a separate video. The point is that if your vessel is in India, okay, situated is in India, then they are treating it as an Indian, because we have a specific provision, place of supply, section number 10, 11, 12, and 13 of the IGST Act, that is completely related to place of supply. And regarding vessels and aircraft, they have given a specific conditions regarding the determination of place of supply. Okay. And what will be the solution? We may discuss that, how we can argue on that particular matter, and what are the things we need to keep in our mind for a smooth conduct of fund, that we'll discuss. Now we have certain queries. I think we should take one or two queries, or I should take certain queries. Krishnan sir, a particular person who has been migrated from the normal to the composition scheme, from normal to the composition scheme. In that case, yes, there is requirement of reversal of ITC. But suppose the person has not reversed the ITC, okay, and the same is available in the electronic credit ledger. Now, departmental authority will issue you the notice that sir will discontinue your registration as a composition, will convert into regular, and these are the points, and will impose tax, interest, and penalty. We just need to argue that sir, yes, I have not filed the ITC 03, I have not reversed the input tax credit, but I have not utilized the same because I have made the payment through the cash ledger only. I have made a mistake that I have not filed the ITC 03 and I have not reversed the input tax credit, but the credit is still available in my GSTR credit ledger and I have not utilized the same. So no question of interest. Yes, on account of this mistake, you may charge a penalty up to 50,000. That may be 5,000, 2,000, 7,000. Okay. Is that okay, Krishnan sir? Manoj sir, export of service, but you have received the amount through a particular panel. You can say PayPal, you can say credit card, okay, and they are receiving the amount. They are receiving the amount in foreign currency, and they are providing you the converted amount. Conversion is going on. In that case, yes, the same will be treated as export. Okay. When we are especially talking on export, import, LUT, we'll also discuss the Nostro and Vostro accounts. Okay. At that time, we'll cover these type of points as well. Also, I request you all have the WhatsApp number of my team. So if you suggest any topic and if you have any doubt on a specific topic, you may suggest on WhatsApp. We'll plan free workshop on that session as well, because every Saturday 5 to 6 p.m. we have free workshop. So you can suggest the topics as well. Sir, Sandeep sir, property is situated at Delhi only. So you should take the GST registration from Delhi, because your property is situated at Delhi and you are generating the revenue from Delhi only. Sir, if a person is going to be changed from regular to composition, in that case, whatever will be the input goods which is there with you, you have to calculate the ITC and you have to reverse it. If no balance in your electronic credit ledger, you have to pay. Sanjay sir, if supplier has make the credit note wrongly and uploaded the same, in that case, supplier has a timeline. Supplier may reverse the same, supplier may amend the same. We may suggest our supplier, okay, that you should make these adjustment. But now suppose if the timeline has already been lapsed, now you can take a declaration from the supplier. You may take a reference of circular number 183, 193 of the government regarding the input tax credit. You may use on account of credit note as well, that my client has uploaded, but that person has not reduced the outward supply, that person has paid the proper taxes. So based on the nature of justice, you should rely and do it. Yes, we know, sir. If you have made some export of the goods under LUT, but exporter has rejected and material, now he will not pay the payment. So you have claimed the input tax credit now, so you have to reverse. I have already shared my number, sir, 8072. You just need to WhatsApp on this number. I will not be available, so you just need to. Yes, if ITC is not available, Joseph sir, in that case, you have to pay it through the cash ledger. DRC03 is there, you have to pay. Sir, if the client has taken the GST registration, Sandeep sir, at Haryana, in that case, what you can do, you can surrender that registration. You may take a new registration at Delhi. Okay. Or if the same has been done, in that case, what you need to do, principal place of business, Haryana, is that okay? You just need to add one additional place of business for Delhi, and you just need to pay the GST accordingly. Because there is a issue with state. But if it is possible, then you just need to change the GST registration. It will be the perfect thing that we need to follow. Because when we'll read the place of supply provisions, I'm just going to move to the place of supply provision. Reverse charge mechanism, I'm going to skip. Time of supply also, I'm going to skip. Place of supply related, certain questions will take, because we have 10 to 15 minutes, so I need to conclude the session. WhatsApp number only 9 digit. One correct WhatsApp number has already been shared. My complete focus is on queries, so I have mentioned the wrong WhatsApp number. Sir, for exempted items, yes, rule number 42 will be applicable. Now, place of supply. When goods are built in Gujarat but shipped to Maharashtra, what is the place of supply? Sir, goods are built in Gujarat but shipped to Maharashtra, what will be the place of supply? So place of supply will be Maharashtra only, where the movement terminates. That is the specific situation of bill to ship to model. When the billing is of a different address, shipping is of different address, in that case, GST will be charged based on the billing address. GST will be charged based on the billing address only. Now, if a Delhi-based company installs machinery at a client's factory in Haryana, what is the place of supply? Haryana, where the installation is carried out, because as per section number 13, we have multiple scenarios. In section number 12 also, we have multiple scenarios regarding the place of supply, IGST Act, where it is clearly mentioned, if it is related to the performance of the service, then the place of supply will be the place where the service has actually been performed. So where the installation has been performed, that place will be treated as treated as carried out. How to determine? Santosh sir, in which respect you are saying that the situation supplier in which state? I am not getting your point. How to determine the place of supply of an interior designer service done at client's home at Goa? In that case, Goa, as it is a immobile property, जिस property पे आप अपनी service provide करवा रहे हो, so that will be treated as place of supply. Yes, yes, Santosh sir, exactly. It is Gujarat. In my file, there is some issue where the bills has been made, that will be treated as place of supply only. When the goods are built in Gujarat but shipped to Maharashtra, what is the place of supply? So exactly where the billing has been done, that place will be treated as place of supply. Thank you, Santosh sir. What is the place of supply for goods sold at an exhibition stall in another state? So location of the stall where the goods are made available, that will be treated as place of supply. Earlier, there were one doubt, one question in the chat box, sir, what do you mean by the casual taxable person? What do you mean by the casual taxable person? So here, casual taxable person means if I require the GST registration for a limited amount of time. Suppose I am going to participate in an exhibition, and in that exhibition I am going to sold my products, okay, and that exhibition is for 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, 25 days. In that case, I have to take a registration as a casual taxable person, and I may sold the goods for that. So when I am taking the GST registration for a limited amount of time, then I need to take the GST registration as a casual taxable person. Section number 27 taking favor. Section 27 taking favor of the casual taxable person. And when I am taking the GST registration as a casual taxable person, I also need to deposit the tax in advance. After the period, the same will be adjusted, and if any refundable amount is there, then the same will be refunded. Works contract complete the residential building. No, the residential building, that person has provided the services now, so GST will be applicable. Sir, if the client has already made the export, then what you need to do, 3 months has already been lapsed. Okay, so you may now share the invoices. Now you may upload the invoices in your GSTR1 and 3B return accordingly. Okay, that is the option we need to do. A Mumbai dealer raise invoice to Pune branch but ships directly to a Nagpur client. What is the place of supply? So Pune, under the bill to ship to model, that will be treated as place of supply. Where it ends, where it's used, that's why GST must be fused. Okay. Online software services. Online software services supplied from Bengaluru to an unregistered person in USA, place of supply. When an online software service is supplied from Bengaluru to an unregistered person, in such a scenario, USA location of the recipient qualify export if conditions are met. Dekho, here we have already mentioned that it will be treated as export if conditions met. Conditions means the amount has been received in the foreign currency, then only the same will be treated as place of supply. So the same will be treated as place of supply accordingly. When a Bengaluru company pays for hotel accommodation in Rajasthan, what is the place of supply? So in that case, Rajasthan will be treated as place of supply. Okay. When a Bangalore company pays the hotel accommodation in Rajasthan, then place of supply will be Rajasthan only. Now, my question. Okay, sir, one Bangalore company has taken the hotel services in Rajasthan. So Rajasthan for hotel, that person, that Bangalore company has provided the GST, and whether the Bangalore company is eligible to claim the input tax credit or not. That is what is my question. No, the person will not be eligible to claim the input tax credit, because if the same is going to be claimed in the same state, in that case only the ITC will be allowed, otherwise no, because when the place of supply will be Rajasthan, then Rajasthan person is going to charge CGST and SGST only, but that person is Bangalore. So if IGST, then only the ITC will be allowed, otherwise the ITC will not be allowed. Sir, Paresh sir, it is disallowed under the place of supply provision itself. No any other thing is required. It is disallowed under the place of supply provision itself. We have certain queries in the chat box. Let's go through with one or two or three or four or queries. I'm trying to provide you the response of each and every query. Okay. But still, I'm a human being. So if I miss any query, or due to time constraint, if I miss any query, in that case, what you can do, you can post the queries on WhatsApp. We'll definitely provide you the response on Sunday. Okay. Because my schedule from Monday to Saturday is quite busy. So I will definitely provide you the solution by Sunday. Sorry. So we have some queries. Mahendra sir, no need to take the GST registration. Place of supply will be treated as Goa. So the person will be charged IGST accordingly. Sir, if your client, Santosh sir, if your client has taken the GST registration, whether it will be a rental income, yes, GST will be applicable. Now you have time, you can, although the time has already been lapsed regarding the previous financial year, because GSTR1 has done. Ganesh sir, I am not getting your query X advertisement. I am not getting your point. No penalty is there regarding the 3 month after. If you are going to show, no penalty is there. Department may ask for the interest on account of tax liability, but no penalty is there. If you have paid the reverse charge mechanism, yes, definitely you will be eligible to claim the input tax credit. Santosh sir, today we have received a lot of requests from the participants regarding the Sunday. Okay, so we'll conclude the session by 4 p.m. On next Sunday, we have a session from 2 to 4 p.m. again. So we'll cover these 2 hours in the next Sunday. Okay, because on Sunday it is quite difficult to sit for 4 hours and learn. Okay, so we have a session till 4. On next Sunday, we have again a session from 2 to 4. No, Jagdish sir, if a composition dealer is not eligible to provide any services interstate, install person must register as a casual dealer. Yes. But if the person is here only to show the products, not to sell them, in that case, no requirement to take the GST registration. Oppo sir, why the client has received the DRC 07 having huge demand? Because the matter. Paresh sir, the place of exhibition. Yes, we'll upload this particular video on our YouTube channel as well. Not an issue. So sir, you can, Oppo sir, you can share your issue with me on the WhatsApp so that I can guide with you. Okay, so you just need to share with me the issue, exact issue, so that I can guide you on that particular matter. Just wait for a single second. A lot of queries are there. Anita ji, if you have another branch is at Allahabad, then you have to take the GST registration. You have to take the GST registration. So WhatsApp number has already been shared in the chat box. So you may ask your queries on the WhatsApp, and I request, as on next Sunday, we have again a session from 2 to 4 p.m. So I request each one of you, those will be your queries. I forgot my own office number due to the queries. So I have shared the WhatsApp number. You may post your queries on the WhatsApp so that we can easily discuss the queries in our next session, 2 to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Okay. Because we are also planning that every Sunday, because we are receiving a lot of queries. So we may plan a session 45 minutes on every Sunday, but on next Sunday, yes, we have a partial session of our today's session. Yes, this is a WhatsApp number of my team. You will not get the immediate response on this number, but definitely you will get the response within 6 to 7 hours. Okay. And if you wish to connect with me, you can easily connect. If you have any issue, you can connect. Okay. Yes, sir. We already have a group, and we have shared the link of the group, I think, with all of you. Or if you will WhatsApp on this number, I may add you in the group. Yes, regarding your export matter, if you have not taken the LUT, letter of undertaking, then you have to connect with your judicial officer. That person is going to provide you the solution. Also, if you will not get relief at that point, then you have to go for the appeal as well. So thank you everyone for joining the session. I hope your a lot of queries has already been resolved. Sir, this is not a PPT. This is the newly launched book, which is completely based on Q&A, not a marketing. I am just going to share the information because today we are providing this book at cost only. So if anyone wish to buy this book, then the price of this book is only 700 for today. You may scan the QR code, pay the amount, and post payment you may share your feedback, share your form on the Google form. Okay. And this book is available for 700 for today only. Okay. For tomorrow, the price will change because this is a company product. So they may change the price. For today, this price of 700 is applicable. You just need to fill the Google form. You will get this book at your postal address. The price of 700 is inclusive of the postal charges. Okay. This is completely a guaranteed book. After getting this book, if you will not satisfied, you may get the refund. Although after getting this book, you will highly satisfied. And I suggest that this book should be there in your office because your article, your staff can easily read the book in a funny way, because this is completely a comic book in a comic series, okay, on a glossy paper. So anyone wish to buy the book, you may purchase the book, otherwise it is okay. Next session of the next part we have on the next Sunday sharp at 2 p.m. So I request each one of you do join the session. Anyone who wish to buy the book through the credit card, in that case you just need to explore our website www.batukconsultancy.com. Okay, but the price of 700 will not be there. I think on the website the price will be 799 for credit card, you may explore our website www.batukconsultancy.com. On that website, under books, you may found this book. You may place your order from that books, but I think the price will be 799. Okay, so I request, if you wish to buy, you can scan the QR code. If you don't wish to buy right now, you may place your order by evening. You just need to scan the QR code. You can make the payment till 12 p.m. at any point of time, and after payment, just fill the Google form. Okay, so thank you once again, everyone, for joining the session. And those who wish to buy the book, okay, and those who are buying the book, they will definitely get a 8-hour session in which each and every query of the comic book will be covered. Okay, and all your queries will be covered. Although if you are not wish to buy the book, then also it is completely okay. If you have any query, any concern related to GST, you may connect with me any point of time, because it give me immense pleasure to solve your queries. Okay, and second product, we have GST cards. So if anyone wish to buy the cards, then the price of the cards is also 700 rupees. And these are very handy cards. Total around 100 cards is there. And on each and every card, we have mentioned the section with rules. Okay, so you may keep it in your pocket. At any point of time you wish to refer any section or any rule, you can easily go through with these cards. The price is 700 inclusive of the postal charges. If you wish to buy both the things, price will be 1400. For single, 700 rupees. Whatever product you are buying, you just need to specify in the Google form. Google form is must, because without Google form will not get your address. And while filing the Google form, just provide your complete postal address, I request once again. So anyone who wishes to buy, you may place your orders. Thank you once again. Bye bye. Take care. And I request each one of you, whatever will be your feedback about our today's session, have you gained the solution of your problem? Have you found this session useful for your practical day-to-day queries? Just respond me in the chat box. Those who have paid 99 rupees for the course, they will get the refund by this weekend. Okay, by Friday, you all will get your refunds of 99 rupees. Because earlier this course was paid. After that, we have received a certain request from the participants that, sir, we have a lot of queries and we are not able, and we don't wish to pay 99 rupees. So we have make it free. Okay, the purpose of taking 99 rupees or 100 rupees is only one, that you should join this course. Otherwise, hota kya hai, if we'll make it free, all will register, but when we'll see the participant list, it is very less. So Google form we have already shared, sir. Thank you once again. And those products we are presenting in our session are not for any type of advertisement. The purpose is only one, that professionals can get the best products from us. And as our products, we have no low earning objectives. The objective is only one, to provide you the knowledge based products. Okay, and always we are here to support you regarding any of your queries. Okay, so thank you once again. And also, if you have any practical query, practical concern, you can connect with me. Sir, PPT, no, we have taken the book itself. Okay, so in this book, we have covered everything. So PPT, we are not able to share, but if you require 2 to 3 chapters, we can share. It is a company policy. We can share 2 to 3. Okay, if you have paid 700 rupees, you will receive the physical copy. You will not get the digital copy. You will get the physical copy at your postal address. Okay, by tomorrow, by day after tomorrow, you will also get the tracking details of your product. So thank you once again for joining the session. We'll meet you soon, and on next Sunday, definitely we have a session. Those who have any queries, you may connect on this number.